Ooh, we got a good one today. I hope you're all doing well. Before I get into today's video game topic for the 4 p.m. hour, I want to give you a quick update. It seems like it may be working. Remember how in the last video I've asked everyone to just really commit for the next 7 days to leaving a like and a comment on the videos and trying to share them out on social media? I think it's having an effect. I think right now my channel is sandboxed, but we might be able to get it out there. And also I noticed if you go to the channel, if you're subscribed, make sure that this bell up here is darkened. It's confusing because it may look like this, but you have to click it to say get notified about every video. And even then, I don't seem to get notified by every video, but let's start there. I want to take this step by step so I can figure out if any of this has a difference. So check to make sure that you have this checked, or it's also in the actual video below here. You can see it here as well. Make sure you have that checked. All right, now tomorrow we'll have another test, but I'm gonna get us out of this, I promise you. 2 of Steam's top games last month were anime cuddle games. We'll call it that. Now, video games are very diverse. There's all sorts of things that you can do, whether you like puzzle games, or you like battle royale games, or you like, let's say, video games about renting a new apartment, or video games about getting a new home loan, or video games about buying a new car. Whatever it is that you want to do as your form of escapism is generally available by multiple video game companies. Now, the interesting thing about this article, I thought, is that it reads kind of like some vague moral panic, like Nathan Grayson has a problem with it. When I saw this headline, my initial response was, so? And so many of yours were also the same. So I see there are other people of culture out there. Now, I don't play these type of games, but so what? I don't not play them because of any reason. I suppose if I had more time, I might enjoy them. Maybe I'll give them a try. But, you know, Kotaku and Polygon and other video game websites have constantly railed on Steam, and for being so progressive, it seems bizarre to have a problem with this. Now, he doesn't come right out and say it, but let's take a little bit of the article. It's no great secret that Steam is overflowing with anime games intended to entice portions of its vast user base or interest. But how many people pay attention to these seemingly niche games? Really? Oh, really? Sorry. Turns out enough people do that. 2 of these games ended up in Valve's latest monthly list of top games. So, while Valve does not provide raw sales numbers, it creates lists of top Steam releases based on, quote, revenue generated during the first 2 weeks of release. July's selection includes big names like Wolfenstein Youngblood and Oxygen Not Included, as well as breakout hits like Godhood and Streets of Rogue. Also, there are 2 spicy games in the mix, both of which have phenomenal names, Love Cube and Custom Order Made. The number is up from June, which had just 1 spicy game, Koikatsu Party, among Steam's top games. Now, if we look at the top games for July, there's a lot of games in here. A lot of people shot by this list. Earth Defense Force, by the way, we reviewed this game on Exclusively Games YouTube channel. You should check that out. Streets of Rogue, very popular. Many of these I'm not exactly sure of, but this looks very interesting. Of 470 reviews, very positive. Wolfenstein Youngblood, 3,500 reviews and mixed. So if you just take the percentage of reviews, which probably isn't necessarily fair, you can guess that normally the same percentage of people review games. Wolfenstein has 10 times as many reviews, but that's neither here nor there. There must be a lot of DLC in this particular game. And then you've also got Custom Order Made. This has about 400 reviews, also very positive. The article continues. Love Cube is a visual novel about a down on his luck comics artist living with 3 women. Naturally, he enjoys all three of them. The game touts animations that, quote, come to life and bounce up and down, and specifically notes that all characters depicted are over the age. The spicy scenes in the game are censored, likely due to Steam's policy towards these games, but it offers more scenes as a part of a DLC package. Now, I get that there's some lines that you have to draw. I mean, I don't know that having this loophole for DLC is exactly doing what Steam wants to do. In fact, these DLCs can probably be more predatory. Essentially, if you think about it, the game you get to see for these games are generally pretty cheap. I think Love Cube is like $10. Whoa, no. Oh yeah, Love Cube is $10, but Custom Order Bride or Custom Order Made is $40. If we go to the page, you can see obviously the game is $40. I don't see a lot of DLC to be honest with you, but for a $10 game, it's kind of like, oh, I see this blurry area. I guess I have to buy this expensive DLC now to get the total package. Again, nothing wrong with that. Naturally, you have the game touts, okay, but offers more scenes as part of DLC. Though these, in some cases, still include mosaic blurs, fans don't seem to mind too much. It's okay to have mosaic censorship in it, reads one Steam review. It's still awesome. Shloop, shloop, sploosh, reads another user. Custom Order Made, on the other hand, is about managing a maid-themed bar, where gentlemen come and gather. I bet you they do. Ha ha! The premise, your uncle hands you the key to an establishment that in serious debt, then he skips town. The main appeal to many, however, seems to be the ability to customize the maids who work at the bar. And if you download a patch from a different platform, you can hook up with them. In the game, you play... oh, I don't want to read that. Steam's problematic ID laid bare. You might be noticing a trend here. Patches. Steam has become more lax about spicy content in the past year, but the platform is still not an anything goes zone. As for what is and isn't allowed, this remains difficult to discern. Some games like Love Cube are able to host patches right on Steam. Others, like Custom Order Made, keep them confined to third-party sites. It actually sounds, you know what's interesting to me? I kind of like the concept of rebuilding a crumbling business. It kind of sounds like a fun game to me. Maybe I'll have to try. Maybe I'll have to do some. Maybe should we do a stream of? I'm definitely more interested in the Love Made or the Custom Order Made. That sounds fun. Like this video and leave a comment down below if you want me to stream this game tomorrow or maybe even tonight. I wonder. I don't know if I can even stream it. I suppose maybe I can on DLive. I'll have to see. Anyway. Still, these spicy games, especially anime-themed ones, are clearly doing big numbers on Steam now that Valve has opened the floodgates ever so slightly. It's no huge shock. These games cater primarily to, and here we go, straight men's fantasies, and Steam is a platform dominated by men. Well, I don't think... See, here's where Nathan Grayson gets really slimy. It's not that Steam does anything to dissuade females from using its platform. It's not like Steam has a boys-only thing. It's almost like Nathan Grayson has to begrudgingly admit that video games in and of themselves are generally dominated by males. And that's just by the nature of it. You don't need, by the way, to use Steam to get Candy Crush or The Sims or things like that. So that could also be part of it. A lot of the games that girls choose to play just aren't on the Steam platform. But see, this is like a backhanded, in my opinion, a little backhanded slight at Steam. So I've yet to see a game that more specifically caters to the desires of straight women or LGBTQ folks having similar levels of success. Well, yeah. That's like saying I'm surprised that more people don't buy left-handed scissors. I mean, you can't, I mean, it's not like people who are interested in these type of things in real life are going to buy the games, or who aren't interested in these things in real life. You're talking about a small percentage of gamers. First of all, straight women, That's a small percentage of gamers. And then obviously people in the LGBTQ community is also relatively small. But it's not without an audience. There's in fact this game called Coming Out on Top, which was released in 2014 that, is for the boys. Check out those gunboats. Am I not equipped to be the greatest wingman of all time? I mean, there are these games that exist out there. So, will they have the same level of success? Well, no, because they don't have the same size of audience. And of course, there just aren't many games like that on the platform. Yes, well, there's at least one that's pointed out. And somebody somewhere down here in the comments actually posts out the playtime. Coming Out on Top, all-time peak was 394. That's actually higher than Love Cube and Custom Order Made. So I don't know that necessarily completely breaks the narrative, but certainly there are games that cater to that community, and there are people that play it. 377 as an all-time peak for Love Cube seems low, to be honest with you, to be on this list. But I also wonder if this list might be curated. A lot of times these top 10 lists and things like that are just kind of top 10. And also it might be the 10 games that we make the most money on. Like if we look at Love Cube, it's a $10 game, but then there's 2 different $10 DLC packs. So, I mean, the game's still only $30. But you never really know with these lists, especially when they don't show the actual sales. And then when you also look at both Epic and GOG.com have made statements in the past that they are not men of culture, are people of culture, that they're not going to sell these type of games. This is back in March. It's been a big day for Epic Game Store. During GDC keynote, Epic announced a boatload of new exclusives, and also blah, 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 blah. I want to get this. Going forward, Epic said it intends to focus on quality over quantity. We have a quality standard, doesn't want to accept crappy games. And Tim Sweeney said we'll accept reasonably good quality games, any scale. Yeah. In contrast, Steam has adopted an almost anything goes policy over the past year, with exceptions stemming from games that are, quote, just way over the line. Epic, I don't think they have to sell those type of games. That's great for Steam. You have a GTA game would be fine for us, but Epic's not going to distribute spicy games or bloatware or asset flips. Again, this is like an underhanded shot at Steam from Tim Sweeney and reprinted by Kotaku because everybody loves Epic Games by default, because then they get to have a reason to dislike Steam. And you can see this article also back in September of last year, just grossly misrepresenting what Steam does in terms of their games. But you know what? I'd say that this was a happy themed video. Congratulations to the people of culture out there. Congratulations to Steam for making this available and not being the moral busybodies that all these video game journalists and video game websites seem to be. Enjoy your games, whatever it might be. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.